Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Quake Pro League Season 2, where huge apologies for the delay, but thank you all so much for sticking with us during them. I do believe we're good to go now. DJ Wheat and I are ready to chat a little bit about our next map, which we are starting as soon as possible. Don't worry. Spart1e and Av3k, head-to-head on Corrupted Keep. What do we think?
Obviously a reset from the last map. I don't know that everyone got to hear our final comments on Tower of Koth, but we were giving Spart1e a lot of credit for obviously putting the time and the energy in the map. But now we come back to a map where it's like every player has made their rounds, knows this map intimately, front and back, up and down. And I think the big question we're going to have is Av3k certainly wasn't necessarily feeling comfortable in this map. Are we going to see Av3k come out the same Av3k who played so well versus Wenger in his previous matchup? And it looks like we're going to get started here in just a moment, so we won't have to wait too long to find out. But what do you think? A Galena versus a Strog and Peaker. Any thoughts on how that might play out here on Corrupted Keep?
It's two champions that you see pretty regularly on Corrupted Keep. Ultimately, it's a matter of fast movement from Av3k, where that movement is really big on a map like this because you can get those two major items really quickly. You can escape. If you have the lead and you start to reach that point in a map where you can start to play a little bit defensive, you can't hide on a map like this because it's so small, but you do have that kind of mobility advantage over Galena, and that will matter in the last couple of minutes if he's got the lead. Alternatively, though, Galena, the totems, it obviously heals her, as you always expect, but it is the nature of being able to shut down key areas, being able to put it on the teleporters, being able to put it around a corner where someone might try and get away. They can be really annoying as mines on this map, more so than most maps. So it's, two very meta picks, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the zoning aspects of Galena, like you said, really big, can be a massive pain for a lot of players. We're going to have to see exactly how Av3k is going to deal with that. And as you see the map fly by, that means that we are about to go live in a 3, 2, 1 fight, and we are looking at Av3k right off of the bat. So we'll get to see what he is going to do to, what I would imagine he really wants to do is, hold on, we got a fight here in the RL room. A couple of shotgun blasts come out, and finally we see Av3k switching over to that rocket launcher, getting the final health that he needed for the first frag. And although he has no armor right now, he is the first on the scoreboard.
Well, fresh off map start means Spart1e wasn't able to take or shut down any of those light health, so Av3k is able to kind of get a little bit of a stack back up and good to go. I do want to extend a massive thank you, actually, to everyone for being patient again. It was a bit of a delay, but we do appreciate you sticking around, and let's see this second map of action. You guys rock. Anyway, 1-0 here for Av3k, but the nature of Corrupted Keep, you always expect that to be a matter of time. But here comes the Peaker. Actually keeping the Peaker really far away, which isn't a bad idea because it's a little bit harder to hit. No rail on this map means that you can't just instantly shut it down unless you've got an SSG. But Spart1e tries to escape, put into the point of no return. Now, I do think Av3k, he knows there's some kind of totem there. He's like, you were a lot weaker than that. Where did that health come from?
Yeah. I mean, he did a great job keeping him back there in, outside of the teleporter exit. A great job just chipping away with that machine gun damage as you see him continuously doing that. And as you mentioned, knows there's a totem there. We'll probably go through and eventually clear that out as well. But he's got that 2 frag lead, and be watching for that because the dynamics of this map don't change a lot. And there we go, as we have more damage being chipped away. No battle over the heavy, though, because Spart1e manages to defensively move back and take that.
But then Av3k undoes pretty much every ounce of it that was collected. An immediate 100 damage rocket and then just a little bit of bonus. That's just, okay, it is what it is. At least it's going to be gone. Av3k, the light spawning. Real good use of this long-range heavy machine gun. Spart1e was ready for the Peaker, though, shutting it down before the majority of damage could be done. Here comes that heavy, though. Objective number 2. Spart1e looking to heal up just a little bit if he can, but there's no armor in the tank, and there's no light armor to drop down near nail guns. So he's not in a particularly amazing position, and here comes Av3k using that speed and that crouch slide. Spart1e's going to get annihilated right there, and it'll be Av3k taking another
Very, very nice. I liked everything that happened there, and that little exchange from the dropping down and getting the peeker out to give him and buying him just a little bit of time to grab that mega. That also gave him the heavy. But of course, as they exchange blows there in the middle of the map, Av3k down very, very low. Spart1e knows it. Goes in with this LG, does manage to get the frag, and is going to get, no, did not stick around for the heavy. Apparently was just a little bit too low, and that gave Av3k a perfect opportunity to just sneak in there and take it away. He's now armed back up. I think he just doesn't have his LG, but he'll get it right there out of the teleporter. The peeker comes out. Great, great hit right there. And Spart1e is low. He's going to try to follow up with the LG. Some really great shots. Gets the mega on top of that. It keeps him alive. And the score is now 4-1. A great little 1 minute of play there from Av3k.
Not just getting the frag, but undoing a lot of the benefits of that overstack to 3 totems that were built, and that frag allowing him to shut down 2 of them. Looks like Spart1e's going to get a totem now that he can use either now if he wants to recharge, maybe in the fight. No doubt Spart1e's waiting for the right time to activate it, but so many layers to fighting. Galena pushing in, maybe trying to shut down the mega, but just nothing working out as Av3k secures another, and to boot, it's quite healthy for his troubles. It's been 4 minutes on the clock, 5-1. That's a decent lead, but a lead that can be easily undone on a map like this. But Av3k, I mean, he is a man of momentum, aggression, Av3k aggression, no less.
Absolutely, and we're seeing it right here, keeping Spart1e zoned into this little light area. There's not a whole lot of options that you know he actually has right now, and it is too bad. You know, I think Spart1e had an idea when that mega should be coming up and was literally maybe 1 second too early, and the peeker comes out, but it's not going to matter. Almost a distraction as Spart1e drops down. Av3k grabs that heavy and gets the frag. 6-1, a 5 frag lead now. A great string of LG followed up by a shotgun blast to the face and frag number 7 on the board. And this is that aggression you were talking about, Ketchup. Wow.
Oh, delicious. You normally expect the double rocket right there, and that's Av3k saying, nah, I want more. More damage than 100. What a greedy man Av3k is, but 8-1. 5 minutes is about half the map already done, and a sizable lead for Av3k. No doubt there are people out there happy to be seeing this one. There's no getting around the fact that map 1, convincing victory for Spart1e, but the Corrupted Keep has been a complete opposite effect. More to damage to dish out. Here comes the peeker, of which he's using range. Kamikaze! And the juggle!
God, that was glorious. The glorious, the literally peeker with the seek, the huge hit, and then the LG on the jump pad. That was a thing of beauty. If it was a painting, it would sell at an auction for quite a bit. That was incredible. 10-1 now, and just extending that lead. Ketchup. You know, you mentioned there was a time, right? The window was open where certainly a comeback could be had, but when you see Av3k playing and not really giving up any ground at all, it's tough to see what you know how Spart1e paths a path to victory.
Kind of really coming across as one of those welcome back Av3k, we missed you moment. Some real highlight reel clip coming out, and this is just halfway through map 2. There's plenty more where that came from, and Spart1e, the ability to turn this one around, and there goes one frag, but can he apply the snowball that we talk about so often with the mega in play? Av3k being able to beat him to it, and once again misses the rocket. Strong on this map. The fact that you can't just swap to a rail and instantly delete the peeker makes it so much more punishing when you miss a shot. Spart1e learning the hard way.
Yeah, and I mean, a great job by Spart1e picking up a few frags there on the conversion, and great job by Av3k bringing it back. He's going to pick up another one, and so low, too. 35 points of health on that one. He is going to get the light, but he's got to be careful here. The opponent knows exactly what is up. But, you know, Spart1e did a great job there, you know, trying to trying to bring it back. Av3k, though, back in control. The heavy is going to be stolen away. Nicely done. Spart1e capitalized on it out of the teleporter and a shotgun to the face. And it's 12-4 now, but 3 minutes left to go. Spart1e certainly has to, you know, he has to ramp up the pace a little bit here.
Ooh! If it was any other map, we'd probably be talking about, right, it's done, and we'll be
Yep.
talking about the next map. You kind of, unless it's like a minute left, you kind of never say never on a map like Corrupted Keep, because it is so insanely small and the momentum can swing in the blink of an eye. However, 7 frags is still 7 frags against someone like Av3k that has been playing out of his skin on a map like this. It's still quite the tall order, I think, and this is kind of the other element of the matchup too. Av3k is now starting to position himself in this corner, this curve. You can't see it on the spectator, obviously, because Spart1e is the one that got the last kill, but Av3k is sitting pretty in that curve near heavy. And this is the first time all map he's actually been there, and there's a reason for that. We have 2 minutes left on the clock. It is a notoriously hard part of the map to chase down a crouch slider on, and Av3k is now going to set up shop here, I think.
And I mean, a favorable moment there for Spart1e as Av3k gets blasted with a rocket at the same time he fires one, resulting in a suicide. And now only 6 frags separating these two. There's about 1:40 left to go. But, Spart1e certainly has the loadout that he needs. He's going to grab another light, knows that Mega's up, is going to grab that, and might actually have an exchange here at heavy. They both decide to go for it, but Spart1e is going to, well, walk away with it clean. He could have there, but instead going after Av3k, knowing that the clock is another opponent here on the map. We're going to force an LG battle. And, this is where it gets kind of scary because it feels like, Av3k can sit back here, use the statue as cover, and force his opponent to come in. Av3k's LG has been incredible this entire game, so a rough position to assault. And here we go. Spart1e on the hunt, and he tries to get it. There he does manage to get the shotgun frag, 11-6 with less than a minute to go.
But the goal has just been to waste time.
Yeah.
Just chunk down that clock. He's done a wonderful job of it, and the reason Spart1e's been able to start taking these items, with the exception of that one, is because that's just the way Av3k wanted it. He doesn't care. Spart1e's been able to take all these items because Av3k has allowed it, because you taking an item means you're not fragging me, and it's taking a long time for you to do it. And he has been able to completely waste every valuable second by the end of this map, and it will be a clean victory for Av3k, who has thoroughly impressed, as always, on this map, but it will make it 1-1 wheat. Our final map, which, if memory serves, I believe is Ruins.
I think you're right.
It's going to be where the decider takes place.
Yeah, I mean, a great showing here from Av3k. Again, pretty sure he wasn't feeling super comfortable on Tower of Koth, and Spart1e played, out of his mind on that one. Av3k, though, definitely bringing it back, showing hey, I'm comfortable here. I've got the champion I want. Used a great utility on that map. And 12-6 is certainly a decisive victory for Av3k. And as you mentioned, 1-1. We've we've still got a series up in the air here. It could go to both players as we take it to Ruins. But I like that when we go into Game 3 split.
Oh yeah, and a lot of those frags, the totem was involved in some capacity. The endgame stats showing that Av3k had 1.2k more damage than Spart1e. They're both mediums. They're both picking up sort of similar pickups and similar power-ups as well. Say power-ups, major items is probably more accurate. But you're fighting a Galena who's consistently got a whole bunch more stack hidden away thanks to the totems. And yet Av3k was still able to shred in so many of those encounters. And I mean, frag of the game, definitely that Pika pop-up. The one near the jump pad, I think that's one of the nicest Pika frags we've seen in some time. But no time like the present, because we're now going into our next one. Actually, this is the one. Boop. Boop. So good.
That was so beautiful. Just very, very nicely done. And I'm trying to, I'm not quite in the lobby yet. So hopefully we haven't started yet. I have to restart my client. So
yeah, you're in the lobby for me. So
okay, I have to restart my client. Yeah, we got US internet over here, so I was like, my bad. But yeah, that was actually one of the best Pika frags I've seen this season by far. Excellently done with the finisher LG at the end. Just beautiful stuff. Love it.
So our final map here, Ruins of Sarnath. This is where things actually are going to change quite significantly, though, because we do get to see Av3k rocking the keel. So this is not going to be a map all about movement. This is going to be hitting hard, positions mattering, an absolute crazy amount. But over time, we've started to see keel in the hands of really, talented players. Keel becomes incredibly dangerous in duel because he is so insane at just controlling those like major positions. If there's a Keel in play and he's anywhere near the heavy room, a lot of players are like, it's not worth it. Does not even bother trying to fight back because the amount of damage he can put in those really small little choke points is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about zoning, right? And being smart about that. It's clearly what I would expect to see here. And there we go. I'm back in. So
welcome back.
I'm curious to see. Thank you. I'm curious to see exactly how Av3k will try to use that, and Spart1e on the other side still has a chance to claw this one back. Both players certainly playing exponentially better as the stage continues to move on. And I have to say, Spart1e does have some pretty tough matches coming up here. So a win here would go a long ways for securing his spot when we get to the Stage 1 finals.
Us being in a 2-1 position either way, it's certainly better than nothing with every map counting, because it is, to remind everyone, I will continue to say it because it's a different format, the prize money matters more than ever now. It is all about prize money, which dictates your leaderboard placement. So Spart1e is one of the players that's kind of in that split situation. We referred to the leaderboard earlier today, and that might change up a little bit. But there are certain matchups that haven't been played yet. It's been a very Americas-heavy matchup. So matchup day is probably more accurate.
Yeah.
Long day for me, even though it's only been a quick day. How about that? But final map, what do you think?
I think to me, the deciding factor is like, how is the rail gonna incorporate in, right? Like, look at that first map, look at what Spart1e was doing with the rail gun in his hands. It's a style of play that I would kind of expect, especially wanting to probably stay away from Keel and stay away from what Av3k's going to try to do from a zoning perspective. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for, to see who might be able to take a lead there. And I mean, the same thing could come out of Av3k too. So I'm going to have to say that it's ultimately going to come down to here, or to the rail.
Here we go. Final map. It's Av3k and it's Spart1e. Looks like right now we are checking things out from Av3k's point of view. We'll see what the Keel brings to the table. Already getting 2 of the 3 major weapons, LG and rail, good to go, and plenty of grenades too. Ooh, even that. A little bit of bonus damage, but he listens out first. Timing first, item later. Now he's got both. He can make that choice a little bit later on. But the Doomslayer from Spart1e, we haven't really touched on it, but Doom is actually quite a common pick for Spart1e, even on maps that you normally wouldn't expect. I think there might just be something about the double jump. But as long as I've been seeing Spart1e competing in Quake Champions, he's been one of the more prominent Doom players, Wheat.
Yeah, there's a few points on the map where you can kind of do some cute things. Hold on here. We got to fight at the Mega. Av3k just outside of range, and Spart1e capitalized on it with a rocket to the face. Unfortunately, the pineapples are not going to let him get that item, and unfortunately, actually, Spart1e was not afraid at all. Just went right in for it. He's got that first frag. You can already see him now using that rail, trying to get some initial shots in. As you got the pineapples going out again, all about the zoning, all about trying to get some of that damage off. And Av3k needs to kind of, re-gear here. He doesn't have a rail. He's going to grab one up right now. And we are going to have heavy coming up here in a moment. Is Spart1e going to chase? Doesn't look like it. Av3k walks away clean on that one, and Spart1e holds on to his lead.
Ooh. Both players looking for that initial opening. But right now, this is a bit of a tricky exchange. Like, who's going to go where? Av3k. He's going to get immediately tagged by Rail 1 that he unfortunately can't return, but the defensive grenade does at least keep Spart1e just inches further away. That would have been maybe a Rail with his name on it. And Av3k, no choice but to concede the heavy as well. Wasn't really able to make too much of his presence known. It's a tricky position to be in. For Av3k, one of the main things, is that he hasn't got a rocket launcher yet. So if we are down there, he hasn't got much to challenge.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Ketchup, and probably one of the reasons he just disengaged. I mean, sure, you can fire all your grenades in there, but it's not surefire on. And there it is, the rail coming out. Spart1e with a great angle from that Mega platform, picking up his second frag. And, we're going to have another fight here in the heavy room. Heavy is up. and Av3k does manage to get it. Spart1e incredibly low. Av3k looking for that rail shot. He misses. Oh my God, he hits it. But Spart1e hit 2 there before the death frag that came out from Av3k. It is now 1-2, and pretty much reset the board back to step 1.
I think it was still a good call from Spart1e. You know, it can be so misleading to go down under the jump pad to get those 2 health bubbles, but with no armor, he was still going to be railable even after he picked them up, so it's just not worth it. However, Spart1e, the rails, you said, how prominent will this rail be? Well, it's been prominent for Spart1e, who's currently sitting on 57%. He's already fired 14 of them, and it's only been 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if Tower Koth was any indication, I kind of felt that, you know, Spart1e's rail seems very, very on today. I mentioned that I thought that that was going to be the thing that was going to separate these two. And not that Av3k hasn't hit some nice rails himself, but Spart1e really extending himself on some of those angles, and it is paying off. Also getting a couple of nice shots here, just like what we're seeing here from the top to the bottom with that RL. Unfortunately, can't press too hard on this one and does have to give up the heavy. Will that give Av3k an opportunity? Coming in with that LG, a great direct rocket. That's going to force Av3k to get out of here, despite the fact that Spart1e is in the danger zone. He had 27 points of health. Oh, very risky move. A double jump up to the top platform. Tries to land the rail. Misses. Av3k gets it instead. It's 3-2.
I also think the fact that Av3k was somehow ready for that is even more impressive. It kind of felt like he was already holding that angle. Spart1e, man, the rails today on this map. Been both players. It's been their main weapon, it seems, but Spart1e weak. Oh, that crucial miss. Av3k. You know he's looking for that one as Spart1e gets a perfect call out near the teleporter. And for another time, looks like he's starting to run away with it. He makes a good call out. Av3k spawning near Tribolt, probably going to try and take that light armor. The Tribolt's looking pretty good for Av3k, though, to shut down Spart1e, get some of that bonus damage, but it won't help now as the Mega is absorbed for another time. Spart1e, he's looking good here, Weak. He's looking very good.
Really good, and continues to hit that rail, sporting still a 58% rail. And, you know, like every player in the QPL has a great rail, but after we saw some of those shots on Koth, you know, there's a difference between like today's just a normal great rail day, and today is the day I'm feeling it. And that's what Spart1e really kind of must be feeling right now. You know, obviously in a map like Corrupted Keep, no rail was there. Av3k is still managing, going to bring it back, but you know, not surprised to see Spart1e really using his rail, as he's obviously feeling very comfortable with it. Av3k does manage to bring at least 1 frag back. This is still an incredibly close game, and I love the action that we're seeing so far. I'm sure there's got to be some frustration because Keel's grenades haven't really felt super effective versus Spart1e, and maybe that's where the double jump kind of comes in, right? Take some positions of be able to avoid some of those pineapples. There he finally gets tagged with one. The Mega is up. Spart1e forced to get out of there, and that means that Av3k is going to snag it away. Are we going to have a fight over the heavy? Well, Av3k wants to have one, trying to force it out. The nails come out, and no rail. Av3k just not able to finish and up those shots with the rails that he is desperately trying to hit.
Spart1e's rail game has been so on point that rarely is Av3k in a position where he can do the kind of conventional Keel Ruins play. Now, this is where things, you know, differ. He gets the Tribolt kind of working as a budget rocket in that respect, getting more damage than a rocket would, thankfully. But Av3k, Keel is so good at controlling and bullying certain parts of the map, but only when he's stacked, only when he's able to force you into them. Spart1e's done such a good job of doing rail damage every step of the way that Av3k, this is the first time, I think, all map that he's kind of been in what we would call like a common Keel position, where he's stacked, he's looking for rails of his own, Spart1e's on the run, Spart1e's getting bullied around. It took almost 7 minutes to reach this point, but now we're here.
I know, 1 frag separating these two. Av3k says, I can rail too, but I think you called it quite well, Ketchup, is that the differences was that Av3k had a stack. It changed the way that he could approach things, and then finally hit the shots that he's been wanting to hit. So less than 3 minutes left to go. Got 1 frag separating these two. A very, very exciting third map to decide who is going to take this series. And the rails are just being thrown back and forth between these two. A lot of misses happening there, but a lot of respect between those two. Spart1e has to get out of there as Av3k will grab that Mega and the heavy. And here we find ourselves once again, a position that Keel wants to be in. He's got a great stack. He's almost full on grenades. And, Spart1e's probably going to be playing back a little bit more on the defensive.
Changing to the machine gun when it wasn't even necessary. At that point, Av3k says, I'm going to go for the rail just in case. He did pick up one of those health bubbles right near. And now, we've equalized. This has been an absolutely ridiculous match. And some people might have already noticed, Av3k, he's just not used a rocket in this map at all.
Yeah.
In fact, 0% damage, 0 rockets fired. He's not picked it up at any point.
It's actually crazy. I mean, it's actually crazy. How many times, if we could go back and look at all the stats of the games, would we see something like that happen? A staple weapon for so many reasons. But as you mentioned, using the tri-bolt, his grenades is kind of a replacement when he needs to. And it seems to be working. Spart1e with another great rail from the top. He is going to drop down, misses that one. And that one would have been pretty sweet for Spart1e. We got in the lead back. Oh, and once again, Av3k going away. We're going to have a fight here at the heavy, and the LG comes out. Av3k very, very low.
Oh, he somehow survives. What?
I can't believe it.
This is absolute madness, Wheat, that not only did he get away, but then he survived the tri-bolt, but he's not out of the woods yet. Spart1e is on the warpath. He's got a minute to at least give himself one frag of a lead. It could easily go south, but Av3k somehow worms his way out of that. And here we are. What a perfect prediction. Spart1e, the defensive tri-bolt was incredible. Even Spart1e hasn't got a rocket in this life. This has just not been a rocket map. And to be fair, it does make sense. The tri-bolt serves a lot of that kind of spam purpose.
Sure.
Both players, they're not really interested in being close range, it seems. And Av3k somehow escaping death for another time. The second he sees Spart1e, you can't help but get nervous. 30 seconds on the clock. Who's going to take this?
Oh, well, Mega is picked up by Spart1e. That's going to be big in the deciding factor. Av3k is certainly in the lesser advantageous position. Spart1e with a full stack now. Av3k knows that he is kind of in the danger zone right now. We're going to see Av3k make his way through, and he is playing this one slow. He might just go ahead and run out the time, try to give himself as much as he can. Lands a nice rail on the defense, but down to 10 points of health. We're getting to sudden death, and you do not want to hit sudden death with 10 points of health. There's a 25. Gonna grab another one. We will have the heavy up here shortly, but is he gonna fight for it?
Spart1e makes the perfect read, but he still has to finish it, and he will. Spart1e. Oh my days. That final read where he goes, I know that
huge,
that the heavy is too attractive, so you're gonna go up the jump pad, and I'm already going to be there. Pow, pow, finished. That was a wonderful decision at the end. Hard-fought map.
Huge victory for Spart1e. Not only was that such an impressive map close, we talked about how little the rocket launcher came into effect, but there were two things there. That beautifully placed last rocket as his opponent was so low, and as you mentioned, that perfect read. Even Av3k, you saw from his view, he looked over to the staircase. He was waiting for his opponent. He knew that it was possible that Spart1e was just going to drop down from there. There would be a battle. He went over to the jump pad, giving himself that room to escape. But surprise, I kind of had a feeling you were going to do that. I knew that you were low. Well read, awesomely done. Very proud of Spart1e. Huge win. And, Av3k played very nicely as well. But what a matchup that was.
It's one of my favorite matches I think I've seen in the Pro League in general, especially when it comes to the weeklies, because in that sudden death moment, the amount of, I think, mental fortitude you kind of need to display in that situation to begin with is kind of ridiculous. The fact that he could make that kind of just really well calculated decision in the heat of the moment, clearly did not crumble under that pressure. Neither player did. In fact, Av3k, he tried to go for the safer approach. It's just that he was his bluff was called by the better player of the day, basically. But not only that, but this was an important series to win for Spart1e because he does have some stiff competition coming up. He is a player that has been, kind of up and down, but he's certainly playing a lot better now than we normally had seen previously in Pro League. It's great to see Spart1e come back into this form, especially with performances like that. But he doesn't have to worry about this week now. He's got that 2-1. He's got a decent amount of money in the bank, and then we can start to plan for the future weeks. And not just that, but the Stage 1 finals. Now, that is what we are looming on now. Now, I believe we can get Flea back in. I'm sure you've got a couple of things to say about this. Flea, welcome back.
That was an incredible series. Best games of the day by far, right?
I agree.
Immediately, Spart1e, that first map, completely wiping Av3k off his feet. Next time, the turnaround, instantly Av3k opening a full Av3k aggression, as you said yourself, catch up. So, brilliant return right there. And then the final map, what more could you ask for? Goes all the way to overtime. Moving back and forth with nice little comeback towards the end, and then Spart1e with that read. Beautiful. I think someone has to ask him about that particular play when we have a chance to interview him, because I think we all want to hear it coming out of his own mouth.
Oh yeah, I think we have a fair amount to ask him. It would be hard to actually decide which questions we want with the time that we have. But overall, it was a great series, because it wasn't just all of this. It was the impressive showing on the Tower of Koth, the kind of slightly different picks than we normally see in Pro League on that one, which clearly worked wonders. And then it was being able to just climb back up on this final map and have composure up until the bitter end. And well done, well played.
Yeah, phenomenal job by Spart1e there. I mean, both players gave us a great show, which is what we always hope to see here at the QPL. The rail was on for Spart1e this week. We saw it in Koth. We saw it in the final map. And to me, was like a big reason why he won this entire series. Obviously, the read at the end was just beautifully done. And excited if we get a chance to talk to him.
It was a really impressive showing, wasn't it? And I think as we reach these later stages of Stage 1, this is all important information to gather, because we just get to see really how everyone's shaping up as we do loom towards the all-important finals, which are not very far away, which is kind of mad. I felt like we only just started Season 2, yet here we are at the end of Stage 1. Now, I do believe we have an interview with the man himself, Ready. Spart1e, are you there?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, so first of all, big congratulations. Nice monitor.
Thank you.
We're interviewing your monitor, yeah.
So first of all, well done. I'm sure Flea or Wheat have plenty to ask you about Ruins and the final moments, but I kind of want to rewind a little bit and talk about the first map, Tower of Koth. You kind of went into that looking extremely prepared, and some players look more comfortable than others on that map. And I kind of want to pick your brains for a minute over how you approach Tower of Koth and kind of why you think we don't see it as often as something like a Deep Embrace, for example.
I don't know what to say. I've been practicing a lot with Killsam, and by doing this, I'm able to read the game on tower pretty well from all the practice with Killsam, and I think that's where I'm ahead of other people right now, because it's a huge map, and you can easily hide, but that's not the only way to play the map.
Yeah, is that why you also picked Visor on that map? I mean, is Vision, we talked a little bit about it earlier, love to hear your opinion, because it looked like that was all a part of your plan, right? To grab a lead, use Vision both defensively but also offensively. Can you speak to that at all?
Visor is just to get some information, but Av3k picked Nyx first, and to be able to catch Nyx, you it's way easier with Visor. So since Av3k picked first, that's why I picked Visor. And since it's a big map, you can get real good information from the Wallach.
So the final question I think we need to ask as well is, dude, those final moments of Ruins, the kind of decision you made at the very end to kind of just meet Av3k, where he kind of went for what you would normally assume as a safer option, yet you're there on the other side. The clutch you displayed, just being able to keep it together in the final moments, what was kind of going through your mind as Ruins was coming to an end?
I just took Mega Health. I knew the heavy timing. I knew that he was down at the jump pad. I mean, I think that he was down there at the jump pad. And if I will push down from railgun, then he will just run away. So I did a calculated risk that he would take the jump pad up, and he did. So
And it was a good read. Well played, man. No,
Yeah.
big congratulations for today, and we're looking forward to seeing you as we do draw near the finals of stage 1. But we've got to say goodbye
Congrats,
to you for
Spart1e.
now, but it won't be the
Thank
last
you.
time we see you. We're going to go for a quick break, folks, and set up our second featured matchup of the day. Cypher and Wenger will be back in a few minutes' time. See you then.